Episode 335 of the hottest sports podcast in all the universe, the Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Episode 355, we're joined by New York's finest as we talk New York Jets with Q and so much more. We talk on LeBron's contract. Week 2 of the preseason's in the books. We take a trip down 95 to see how my homeboy did in the nation's capital, and we take a look at how the Ravens did out in the desert. If you're watching right now, hit that like button, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, and get ready for the hottest sports podcast, Flex Zone podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. That's right. The only podcast with the crew more dope that makes Joe Biden's son, Hunter, want to sniff it. It's the Flex On Podcast, episode 355. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you what, fellas?
When you need it.
Very, very special guest tonight. We've been trying to get this man on the show for years. He's finally showed up in a virtual building. Another illustrious guest. We're honored to have him. We'll get to him in a second. Lamar, I see you. What's up, my brother? Y'all know who I am. God's favorite host of the Moist, America's Most Wanted podcast. And of course, we the ones. Make sure you acknowledge us. Hit the sports podcast table. Hit that bell. Hit that like button. Subscribe at the Flex Zone One on all social media and the Flex Zone podcast on TikTok and Cash at the Flex Zone One and the Flex Zone One on gmail.com. Bad and lead off. It's your friendly neighborhood Uncle Raj, social media producer. What's good, my brother? Big Raj, as they call him in the streets.
What's going on, man? I'm ready for this next guest. I've been waiting to get him on the show for a very long time. Know this brother for almost 20 years, and you know he's grown a lot. He's grown a lot. He's doing big things, and I'm very, very proud of him. So can't wait to talk to my homie. Can't wait to talk to my good brother. Can't wait to talk to my guy Q.
Hey, this next man is captain of the Goofy ship. He's the commander, because you better salute him. The Commandalorian, the one, the only, and most importantly, the birthday boy,
Yeah.
Crevonte, baby, moving his way through 30. See what I did there?
Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, fellas? Hey, man. Yo, we've been trying to get this guest on since we started this whole thing, man. But like when you say years, we legit mean years, man. I heard so much about this brother, and kept finally getting him together on these virtual airways is going to be. I can't wait to see it. I might just sit back and watch, man. I might not do too much talking, man. I don't know. But we don't have to talk about Patrick Mahomes coming to town, do we?
Yes, we do. Throwing one arm, side arm.
If you'd have left us to run down, it would have been cool.
Did Jackass Mahomes dance on the thing again?
I don't even know if he was there. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if he was there.
How was your birthday weekend, brother? Real quick.
Oh man, it was a blast, man. I went to see Kevin Hart when he was in DC. I think I saw him on Thursday, and Saturday. You know, I did anything to not watch the game. I went to a family reunion and caught up with some folks I ain't seen in a long time. So you know, that was cool.
And stay tuned. We may be doing a comedy show vlog for the YouTube. Let us know if you guys want to see that in the comments. Crevonte sent me an amazing lineup for a comedy show in November. Might have to head down to DC, nation's capital, and make that a Flex Zone party. Put that on the YouTube.
Hey man, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Next man, head of the table, the tribal chief, the Flex Zone Messiah, the savior, misbehavior, the pride of the East Side, the man of 1,000 nicknames, the super producer, the professor, the man, the straw that stirs the drink. The man who's more phenomenal than AJ Styles, the man who goes longer than Ric Flair's last match, the man who's immune to the vaccine, my man, my brother, Drizzy, Dre, the man who's the champion of the Flex Zone podcast, baby. Pay that man.
Hey, what's going on, Byron? What's going on, America? Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Flex Zone. And like we said, I mean, an amazing guest, somebody that I feel like he's been ducking us for some time, but it's glad to see him finally come on here.
Without further ado, it's time to bring him in on episode 355. We fly high, much like those Jets he roots for. He's a native New Yorker. He's one of the illest. And yeah, I mean, son, he's dead ass. That's right. Respectfully, he's coming to you from New York by way of Pikesville. The one, the only, the number one Jets fan in all the country, the head of the Jets table. Our brother, family of the Flex Zone, finally here making his debut. Give him a round of applause in the comments here on this podcast as well. Bring in Q, everybody.
Fellas, what's the deal, man? I appreciate y'all letting me get on the platform.
Oh, you got to make an appearance. Oh, come on. There.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother. Yes, we can hear you.
I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. Crevonte, happy belated born day also, brother.
Much love, baby.
Well, Q, let's get straight to it, brother. First of all, tell the people, man, you are a voice in the Baltimore sports community. How can people keep up with the takes, hear you on the radio, whatever the hell else you got going on? Because you work more jobs than a Jamaican.
Just hear me on 157 The Fan. I got some social media, but I don't know how to promote my page and all that. You know how people say the name of the page? I don't know how to do that. I'll let Raj do all of
that. All right, well,
I don't know how to do
follow my brother. Stuff. Follow my brother Q at Dad Quincy. His YouTube page. What is it? That guy Quincy. Follow that guy Quincy on YouTube.
Yeah, you can follow me on there.
He talks a lot about his flooring business and a lot of sometimes politics and what's fly. You know, he has a lot of fly collection of shoes and paraphernalia. So follow him on there. He has his Jets takes, of course, as well. So if you want to hit up Q, follow 105.7 The Fan. He's always on there talking trash about the Ravens, and just keep up with him on there. But let's get to this interview, man. Let's talk this Jets and this Ravens.
I got a beautiful thing going on over here, man. I respect it.
Hey,
this platform.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you, brother. And hey, it ain't nothing without people like yourself who've been supporting us since day one. And it's all love, brother. We appreciate that. But we got to ask, for the people who don't know, tell them who you are, what team you root for, and your thoughts on the upcoming season for that team you root for in New York. I'm gonna let you rep the green and white.
All right, so boom. My name is Q. I'm pushing 40 years old. I'm the vet out of this whole circle right here, if I say so myself.
You are.
I'm from the Bronx. My team is Gang Green all the way through thick and thin. Gang Green being, of course, the New York Jets. No Giants.
Okay. Is he frozen? Oh, it must be that New York. No, it's not. It's that Baltimore traffic. He's frozen a little bit. He must be frozen for a little bit. But yes, he's from the Bronx. He refs the New York Jets, not the Giants. He's gonna come back on in a minute, I'm sure. But right now he's frozen.
He would be smiling while he's frozen as well. Oh man, let's see if we can get him back. Hold on, he's coming. He's coming in now.
He's coming back in.
Off. Yeah, he's coming back. I think he switched devices. Hold on. I think I see him. I'm waiting for him.
It's all there good. We know how that goes.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My signal went out.
It's all good, brother. Go ahead, finish your soliloquy.
All right. So, boom. I'm Q. Pushing close.
Hey, we want.
Oh man. Yes, but Q is a Jets fan. He's going to tell us all about that in a second. Are his Jets? Aren't they losing right now? I think.
Let me check the score.
Oh, Johnny
Yeah,
Gargano's back, Raj. He just came out.
yeah. I seen Johnny Gargano's back out there. I'm not surprised. The Jets are
Oh,
down 16-10. By
oh
the way,
wow. What a
the Jets.
surprise.
I mean, they look terrible in the first half, but the second half they risen back up. So,
Gotcha. I think he's trying to get back in. But Raj, tell the people real quick how to keep up with us. Stay in the building.
hey man, if you're new to the platform, please hit that subscribe, hit that like, and check out the channel. We got a lot of content on there, a lot of Ravens content. And right now we have this Jets content. if Q can find the signal to talk to us from.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Pardon me, fellas. Where I'm driving at, man, the signal keeps going in and out.
All good, bro. Go ahead, finish where you was at.
And he went out again.
But yes, like Raj said, hit that like button, hit the bell, hit that subscribe button. I guess while we
Man.
wait for Q, audible on the fly. Um, we talked about it last week. Uh, Zach Wilson is out. Looks like Flacco will start week one. Oh, hold on. Let's see if he's coming in there. All right, let's see here. It is.
Fellas,
Q,
I
where
think it
you
might be
at? Hey,
StreamYard, man.
No, that's not cell phone connection, bro.
So I'm gonna pull over and do it real quick and
There
go
you
about
go.
my business. Yeah. So what I was saying was, listen, I try to be an optimistic Jets fan. You know,
Well, how does JD do it, Byron? How does he do it when he's
I think he was trying to say he's trying to be an optimistic fan. Aaron, I see you, brother. What's up, man? I see you in the comments. What's up, Aaron? We good, brother. How you Cowboys looking this year, Aaron?
hey, yo, do y'all hear echo on my side?
Yeah, we still have echo.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I got you. Try this one. Let's see. Q, can you hear us?
now it's definitely not my. It's not my signal. I got it on my boards. It's StreamYard. It keeps kicking me off. I might have to get on my second phone.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, y'all finish your shit, man. I jump. Give me a few.
Go ahead, Raj. You want to hop in there? Go ahead. No, just
So
hopped out you.
while he figures it out, let me say this. What was the question again?
The Jets this season. What are you expecting from them as we head into 2022?
Okay, so what do I expect from them? I believe they won 4 games last year. So I don't think they can do worse than that. I see this team possibly winning about maybe 6 or 7 games. Hopefully, they probably will do something spectacular. Hopefully, with the quarterback. God damn it, what's his name? Zach Wilson when he comes back. Flacco should be able to do what he can do. Maybe win a game or two before he comes back. Hopefully, it's not against the Ravens, but I expect more from this team, man. I expect that the Jets is going to do something pretty good this season. But yeah, at Crevonte, Dre, you here? You there? Or did they drop out?
I think he's
No,
in
I'm
mute.
here.
Okay.
I think Q's trying to get back in. Let me see if I can. Yo, Crevonte, real quick. You said you think the Jets will be improved. I think you alluded to it last week. What do you mean by that? How much better? Oh, he's on mute. Hold on, Crevonte. Go ahead, Crevonte. I couldn't hear you. Hold on, Crevonte. Can't hear
Is
you.
he on mute?
He's not on mute. Let me see. Let me see. 1 second, Crevonte. How about now, Crevonte? Try Crevonte.
Anything, Caranta?
He's not on mute.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay, we can hear
Yes.
you now.
Okay.
And here's Q. Okay, I think Q pulled over.
So real quick, yeah, I expected Jets to be better, but I mean Zach Wilson absolutely has to stay healthy, man. And this is not this isn't a good sign of things to come. But I'm hearing it's not as bad as as we all thought it was, because immediately everybody thinks ACL when you see a non-contact type of injury. But I think Joe Flacco needs to absolutely start the season, and when Zach Wilson comes back completely healthy, that is, they'll be ready to go. But I don't know. I believe their win total was set at like 5.5, and I was like, I think the Jets could get 6 wins. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking for a small improvement for New York. Zach Wilson been in the offense another year. Robert Saleh being coach another year. They got some underrated weapons on offense, and the defense has always been solid. So I do think it will be a little improvement, but Zach Wilson absolutely has to stay healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, all bets are off.
All right, Q, go ahead, brother. Drop back in this upcoming season, brother. How you feeling about your Jets, man? Your overall season outlook so far.
I'm thinking I'm pushing 8 to 9 wins, man. Crevonte said something just a minute ago about our defense always been solid. The last few years, man, our defense has been garbage, especially last year in the Salad, man. Salad got to step it up, man. I got low tolerance. If you're a coach in the league and you get you're a specific coach, a coordinator, and you get upgraded to a head coach position, I feel like you should be able to dominate your level of expertise. Salah's expertise is defense. The offense looked better at times than the defense last year. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to step up. But like I said, man, I got us pushing about 8 to 9 wins this year because we blew out. The defense blew quite a few games last year. So that's what I'm looking at.
Go ahead, Dre. Hop in there, bro.
What's up, good brother Q? So
Yeah, talk reckless.
What's the Jets? You play us week 1. What do you see, a W or do you see an L?
I got money on Gang Green. That's a win. This is why I say this. Not even to talk reckless. This is what I was asking the guy, Ravens fans daily. What makes you so cocky into thinking that you can beat us this particular year? And the answer I'm really beginning is it's the Jets. But you're not being specific. What gives you confidence into thinking that? Because I look at your receiving core. I'm not sold on the receiving core. Bateman's going to be locked down week 1 against Sauce Gardner. Let's take him out of the equation. We got Andrews. Andrews going to get his tick for tat yards. Cool. But who is that second and third receiver that's going to do damage to us? Your whole running back core is coming off of ACL tears. They're not going to be good this year coming up. They're still trying to get their legs under them. Scratch them out of the equation. Your O-line looks a little bit better, but I'm worried for Lamar. If I was a Ravens fan, I would be worried for Lamar's sake with that O-line compared to our defensive line. We're going to have about 4 or 5 pass rushes in that game. So I legitimately say if y'all have a chance to beat us that particular week 1, it's going to be because we gave y'all the game. We blew it. And I'm for the record, I'm not a fan of Joe Flacco. So my personal opinion, I wanted Mike to start. I wanted to sit Flacco, but he's tearing up training camp practice. So we'll see what we got. But with Zach Wilson, man, I'm ready to sit him on the bench for at least midway through the season, man. I'm not sold on this experiment.
To tear up training camp though?
Oh.
You know how to take a little quick shot, man.
Flacco was
All right.
tearing up training camp. Mike White was tearing up training camp. But everybody is in love with Flacco right now. So we'll see.
All right. Well, let me. Well, everybody, get on mute real quick. All right. Check this out. This is why I think that the Ravens are going to do well this season. I agree with you that yes, Dobbins and Edwards are coming off of ACL tears, but I do believe Mike
Edwards,
Davis. I believe Baldy, and I believe Justice Hill is going to have pretty much fill in the slack for Dobbins and Edwards. I think the running game is going to be fine. Basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. Better than what it was last year. Bateman, will he be locked up against Sauce Gardner? I don't know. I mean, I like Sauce Gardner. I think he's going to be a really good cornerback. But I think that Isaiah likely will have something to say week 1 about whether or not Bateman is going to have a good game or not. Because I believe that Andrews is going to command double teams. And I believe that Isaiah likely will have one-on-one situations. And I believe he'll dominate in those one-on-one situations. So I don't think you can double everybody on the Ravens passing side. But I also believe that, our defense kind of was terrible last year. I'll granted you that we were awful. We sucked. I mean, we had a lot of injuries, but that's no excuse. Even before the injuries, we were terrible. So I think having a healthy defense will definitely help this go around as well. Joe Flacco knowing the Ravens offense goes in your favor. Of course, you already know how much I love Joe. I'm a Joe Flacco fan. I root for the brother. So I'm kind of.
So I should get you a jersey in a double XL?
No, I will not wear no damn Flacco jersey. But I'll like
Y'all
I said,
should put a friendly wager on that, by the way. Friendly gentleman's wager.
I think I think the Ravens will win, but I am concerned. I will give you that. I am concerned about this game because it could go either way. This is week 1. Last year we played the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought the Ravens were gonna go in there and do what they're supposed to do. The Raiders surprised me. They actually played a very, very great game and they took advantage of our sorry defense. So maybe week 1 y'all can do the same thing. Y'all can surprise people. I think throughout the season you guys will start surprising people because to me on paper you guys have you got a lot of talent in the draft. Sauce Gardner being one, Garrett Wilson being another. What?
You mind if I answer that message right
Yeah,
there?
go ahead.
Justin
Go ahead, Q.
Phillips.
Answer real quick. Yeah, go ahead. Answer that.
We got
Thank you,
multiple.
Justin.
I mean, listen, we got multiple threats, man. Brees Hall is going to be a beast. Right now, Vegas is predicting him to put up rookie Saquon Barkley rookie numbers. Let's scratch him out. Let's take him out the equation. We got Elijah Moore. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be nasty for us. Coming out of the slot, you got Braxton Berrios and Corey Davis. They'll be flip-flopping. The tight end, Conklin, Uzumo. So I think we got multiple weapons compared to what y'all presenting to us on defense. Because I'm still concerned. If I was a Ravens fan, I would still be concerned about y'all pass rush. Justin Houston and Owe. Owe was good in the beginning of the season, and then after that KC game, he vanished off the face of the earth. So if you let whoever's starting for us, more than likely to be Flacco, sit in that pocket, it's going to be a long day for y'all defense. Yeah, Byron.
Say it again.
Now I was saying, did you hear what I just said?
Oh, yeah. No, Garrett Wilson is a beast. Sauce Gardner is probably the best corner in the draft. Uzama is a good find in free agency. I'm not arguing it, brother. I'm not. I mean, y'all offensive line is still trash because Mekhi Becton can't stay out of hospital more than he's on the football field. But I mean, y'all.
No, I think that works out for us though.
You
I
think
think
so?
that works out for us because I wasn't sold on the Becton draft to start off with. The dude we picked up, Brown from the Seahawks, he's a 5-time Pro Bowler. We slide him into the left tackle. George Font was a top 5 left tackle in the NFL last year with us. We moved him to right. He's kind of iffy on the right tackle, but compared to y'all pass rush, I'm not worried about y'all pass rush. That's pretty much what I'm saying. So, are you going to do more blitzes or what?
You shouldn't be. The pass rush is a weak spot of the defense. I agree with you 100%. They never addressed that. Dominican Stu sitting out there They didn't try to sign anybody. I don't know what they're doing. Same with the wide receiver position. I still agree they need another receiver too. But do you guys think your team can legitimately make the playoffs? I mean, Buffalo, Miami's in that division. New England
It's, go-
still consistent.
it's going to be a tight. It's going to be a tight AFC, brother. It's going to be a tight AFC. You might have a team over 500 this year that don't make the whole season. I think we'll be competitive. I don't know if we can slide into the playoff spot. Like I said, I'm pushing that 8-9 the 8-9 window. 8 to 9 win window for us. If we can get in playoffs with that, possibly, but I don't see that. I think that the two wild card teams might have 10 wins. Because if you think about it, I see 3 teams out of the AFC West is making the postseason. The Colts will take the South. With y'all division, with us, let me skip y'all. With us, I think Buffalo makes playoffs. Case closed. Now, with y'all division, I think Cincinnati takes that. So it's going to be real tight, man, for other teams that's trying to squeeze in. Miami, I'm not sold on. I think Tua is garbage. You're going to see Hill. He's going to become a disgruntled receiver as the team goes on. As the week goes on, pardon me. Mac Jones, not sold on him. And I think Bill Belichick is on borrowed time, honestly speaking. So, yeah, inside of those teams, the Ravens and the Steelers will be around competing, of course. But can y'all make the playoffs and make noise? I don't know.
All right,
That's fair, man. That's fair.
let me ask you this then. You've been hard on our quarterback for some time.
Mm-hmm.
What with there being a contract coming up for him, should he get that max contract?
Right now, no, he shouldn't get the money. I think the Ravens front office is handling the situation right. At first, I heard they was trying to give him Dak Prescott money. Now, I read yesterday that they gave him more money than what's the kid name? Kyler Murray, and he still turned it down. So I guess he wants guaranteed Deshaun Watson money, but he's not worth that right now. I feel like if he can go out and get busy this year, throw him the bank. But right now, he's not worth it.
So what is it that's making him not worth it right now? Because you asked us about specifics for the game. So what is it that you feel like is making him not worth the guarantee?
His passing game is not where it needs to be right now as a passer. That's my problem with him. That's what I tell people. I don't have a problem with Lamar. I think he's a hell of an athlete. It's just as a quarterback. See, I'm old school, so I like my quarterback to stand in that pocket and dismantle defenses. That's not him right now. He's not at that point. If you subtract the RPO out his game, he's not that guy. If he can go out and get busy passing the ball, like I'm hearing in spring training camp, he's really throwing tight spirals now. He could do that consistently through this year. Give him his money, man. He's gonna get paid regardless. It's a question of if the Ravens is gonna pay him or the next team. But for the Ravens, no, I don't think they should pay him that money right now.
All right, so and let me ask this before let the rest of the fellas go. All right, you talked about his accuracy and whether or not he's a good quarterback, but didn't you guys at one time have Tim Tebow on your roster?
He was terrible. I hated it. Ask Raj. I hated that every game he started. I hated.
So do you think y'all should have took Justin Fields?
Over Zach Wilson, yeah. I can't complain with that.
Okay, go ahead, Crevonte.
I think Justin is set up to fail with Chicago.
Oh, we agree 100%, bro.
Around the kid properly.
Yeah, they're gonna have one of the 5 worst records in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Crevonte.
So I agree 100%. I thought Justin Fields should have been the second quarterback taken to the Jets. But he's catching a raw deal in Chicago because they're mismanaging like they've been doing since forever. Couldn't tell you the last decent and consistent quarterback that the Bears have had. And as far as y'all was saying, for y'all defense being solid, historically, obviously not last year. I think you get Robert Saleh, just historically, not last year, because all right, it was dead last. But I think if you give Robert Saleh a cornerback like Sauce Gardner, I think that will get the gears shifting and the defense going more of a positive direction than what you're used to, of course. But Robert Sala's okay. The first year wasn't great. How long does he last? Once Zach Wilson comes back, if he comes back, let's say week 2, let's say he misses week 1. Let's just throw that out because they're saying what up to 4 weeks, whatever. Let Joe Flacco start week 1 and Zach Wilson comes week 2. He plays the entire season. How long? How much of a leash does Robert Saleh have if this year does not go well?
I think the whole situation crumbles at the end of the season if we have another bad season, like a 3 to 4 win season this year. Because you got to keep in mind, Woody Johnson never signed none of these guys. Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas, he never signed none of them. That's Chris Johnson that signed them. So he never wanted Robert to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, he's adding fuel to his own fire, man. I think at the end of the year, all of them can go, possibly, including Zach. I think Zach has a short leash. Him and Mekhi Becton, especially with the injuries. Both of them has been injured twice in 2 years now.
So all right. Who do you feel like would be a better quarterback and head coach for you guys?
Well, I wanted Mike McCarthy, and I know he's catching a lot of flack down in Dallas, but I wanted him. He said he wanted to come to the Jets, and they did a world spin and caught everybody off guard and brought Saleh in. Quarterback-wise, I'm cool with Mike White. I'd ride it down with Mike White right now. And we talking about quarterbacks on the roster. Now, I was saying if Zach would have tore his ACL and he was going for the year, I would have went out and signed or traded for Garoppolo and let him be starter, you know. But it's out of those two guys. I'm not comfortable with Flacco holding down the fort. I'm not. Maybe 1 or 2 games, but no, not for the season.
So you said, well, okay, what about a coach like the Lions head coach? Do you feel like they're in a better situation moving forward than where you guys are currently?
Well, I think that's a tough question right there because the Lions, I like the Lions defense. I think Goff is the main problem there. So as long as he's on the roster and he's starting, they're always going to catch L after L. He's the problem right there. You know, so I can't really say. I think they're going to be better because, honestly speaking, they should have won more games last year than they did. The offense blew it. So I think they'll be in a good situation, but keep in mind, they are in that NFC North. When you're playing the Vikings and the Packers 2 times a year. So that's against their favor.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You haven't made the playoffs in the last 10 years. Almost.
11 years.
11. Okay, I'm sorry, 11 years. What do you think it's going to take for Woody Johnson to actually get out of his own way and allow the Jets to become that team that y'all New Yorkers would want them to become?
See, I'm not part of that. What he needs to sell a team crowd as far as the Jets is concerned. I think he's put some certain GMs that was in there. I just feel like I don't put him on the same level as ownership as I do Jerry Jones in Dallas. Jerry Jones is kind of like the dictator. He's always in his own team's way. I don't see that with Woody. Woody gives the keys and falls back. It's the GMs that he's hiring that's the problem to me. Me personally, I hated the Joe Douglas signing. You know, it's been quite a few years since we had a decent GM, in my opinion. You know, so I think he needs to hire better GMs and better scouting. That's where the problem lies at. Because we can't keep continuing to do first and second round bust year after year after year with these picks. Come on, we need some consistency.
I agree with that. Do you believe that Zach Wilson is the quarterback of the future, or do you believe that y'all going to be taking another quarterback?
I think we're going to be in the market for another quarterback real soon. I'm not trying to be hard on Zach, man, but it's like I don't see growth from last year. So far from this year before the injury, I still see the same mistakes that he's doing in his rookie year. You know, all the years I was talking about Flacco. I was saying Flacco is consistently inconsistent. He's still making mistakes from his rookie year. I feel like Zach might be a Sam Darnold 2.0. Sam was doing the same thing, same mistakes. You're not learning from it. There's no growth and progression. So honestly, I think we'll be in the market for a quarterback very soon. Remember, we wanted Watson on the offseason.
I'm glad you said that. What if Lamar Jackson was an option for y'all? How would you feel about that?
Oh, no, I'll pass. I'll pass.
So you don't think Lamar Jackson better than Deshaun Watson? You don't think Lamar Jackson better than Deshaun Watson?
No. It's not even close. Watson is a quarterback. I love
So
Watson.
Watson has a unanimous MVP, won playoff games, come from behind in playoff
See,
games.
y'all go too hard for this MVP stuff. It's the system. Lamar is not asked to hold down his team like Watson is. Watson was asked to hold down a team, mind you, and he had Hopkins. Hopkins was always injured. Then they subtracted Hopkins from the team and still asked this man to control the offense and run the team. Lamar is asked to manage the game. Don't mess the game up. It seems like every quarterback that the Ravens get is always that same philosophy. Do little, let your run game hold the fort down. Your run game and your defense hold the fort down, and that's that. We don't need you going out there slinging the rock 50 times a game, throwing for 400 or 500 yards a game. In some games, I see Lamar, he only had about 12 pass attempts. I said, you got to be kidding me. And still get a win. 12 pass attempts, 80-something yards passing, 110 yards rushing. So it's the systems. Watson is a more dynamic quarterback. He can stand in the pocket and tear you apart.
So can we have
At
Lamar
this
Jackson
level
with
in his game.
DeAndre Watt? Can Lamar Jackson get a DeAndre Hopkins? Or can he get a Garrett Wilson or Elijah Moore?
It
One of
wouldn't
those guys.
It wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference. Especially look at your
Oh,
coordinator,
my goodness.
Greg
Look at
Roman.
Josh Allen in your own division, bro. Look at Josh Allen in your own division. He was a nobody before Stephon Diggs
Yeah,
came. They was talking about getting rid of
but
Josh
look at
Allen.
again.
Josh Allen was on his way out if he ain't get Stephon Diggs.
Look at the OC. That's not Greg Roman's pedigree.
Look at Kyler Murray before
Everywhere
he
he's
got
went.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, but look at
Kyler Murray wouldn't have got
Greg
paid if it
Roman.
wasn't
That's
for
the X factor.
So can you blame Lamar
The
for that?
X factor.
He has the worst offensive coordinator, most old school. You talked about old school. Greg Roman's the most old school offensive coordinator in the NFL. He does nothing but I formation. You could call out his plays before your kids could call out his plays before they play up. I mean, if we're being honest, it's high school offense, bro. You can sit there 5 shots in, bro, and you can tell me the plays they're going to do. You know that.
But if I'm not mistaken, hold up though. If I'm not mistaken, you just mentioned Kyler Murray. Hopkins got Kyler Murray paid, but I believe Murray's rookie year he put up solid numbers without Hopkins. He still had Fitzgerald as his number one, and he still put up crazy numbers that year. If I'm not mistaken.
So wait a minute. So
correct me if I'm
you
wrong.
talked about.
He did. He put up solid numbers. He did.
Yeah, he did. But you also talked about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. But if I'm not mistaken, Lamar Jackson was between Lamar Jackson and Justin Tucker on a depleted Ravens team, he had the number one seed in the AFC before he got hurt.
Yeah, they was 8-3. It was a fluky 8-3, but yeah, you're right.
So what is it that he? Why shouldn't he get paid more than Kyler Murray?
I don't have a problem with that. I was saying I was contesting the Watson deal. No, I was contesting the Watson deal. I was saying he shouldn't get Watson type money. No.
But why
I don't care about him getting paid more than Murray.
If he's more accomplished, why shouldn't?
Sometimes I get caught up the wins and losses and that. Sometimes it's more of a team game than that particular. But when it was 8-3, it was some flawed games that he played bad, and the team still proceeded to do what they did without his help. If we being honest here,
without his help.
But he gets the credit at the end of the day as the quarterback.
He had come from behind wins, and he put them in position so that way Justin Tucker could go ahead and kick the game-winning field goal to Lazarus.
I'm gonna just say this: Lamar is not your he is not a drop back quarterback all the way through. He's a triple threat. He can run, he can pass, he can look good with shades on the sidelines with a big Ravens chain. He can do all the sexy things out there, man. We understand the RPO thing, like you said. He's not your traditional quarterback, but look, man. He does what he does on the field for a reason, bro. I mean, he does all that so he can get single coverage. He's not the greatest passer in the world. We get that. And that's fine with me. As long as he's able to find ways to win. I told you this the second season that he started. I was like, bro, he's going to find ways to win football games. It's not going to be the sexiest thing. It's not going to be getting 300 yards per game. He's going to use his legs and he's going to use his arm. He's going to use what God gave him. And that's fine. That's fine. So hopefully he does get a Watson type deal because I believe he deserves it. And I think he's going to be pretty, I think he's going to be he's going to have another MVP type season this season.
Oh, Q dropped off. I mean, those are some really good points. I mean, and I need him to explain this whole MVP thing because not everybody just gets an MVP.
Right, not everybody, an unanimous MVP at that, not an unanimous one.
So yeah, I need him to come back with that one because we can't let that one go.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Okay, we waiting. We got some more treats for that ass.
And look what Justin said. Justin Phillips, like he said, they lost every game without Lamar, lost every game down the stretch, and he had a 400-plus point, 442-yard game against the Colts.
They went 1-3 down the stretch.
Yep, they sure did.
Go ahead, Raj.
And then I also like that comment earlier.
That 442-yard game.
Oh, there he is.
Against the Colts. Q, are you there?
That 442-yard game against.
He dropped off again. I guess the spot got bad. I guess the spot.
Because I like Mark's comment, what he said about Deshaun Watson's contract was situational. Yes, Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback. I think all of us here would say that he is a really good quarterback. But at the same time, Deshaun Watson did not earn that compared to some of these other guys out here. Like you said, the Josh Allens of the world, or the Dak. He's almost in that same category of Dak Prescott as far as like accomplishments.
Hey, we're not slandering.
Stop it, Dre. Stop it.
No.
Don't be disrespectful. Stop it.
Stop. No. Okay. When you look at his NFL career, and compare it to Dak Prescott, where have either one of them really gone?
Bro, Deshaun Watson never had the offensive line that Dak Prescott had. He played for the Houston Texans. Remember, he only had DeAndre Hopkins. He was running for his life way more often than not. I've seen Deshaun Watson in the playoffs, consistently in the playoffs. Dak Prescott plays for the Cowboys. That's the only reason why he's relevant. If Dak Prescott played for anybody else, he would not be relevant. Now, I do agree, like I've been saying before, everybody need to jump the owners of the Browns at the next owners meeting. Because why the hell would y'all give him that type of money? I agree. It should have been no fully guaranteed. Deshaun Watson should not have got no fully guaranteed contract. Absolutely not.
Well, while we're waiting for Q.
But he was a top 5 quarterback before the whole situation.
Oh yeah. We'll say that. That's why I said I think everybody here can agree he is a really good quarterback, and he could definitely he definitely deserved the payday, but not to the degree of what
not 230. But again, Dak Prescott ain't sniffing nobody's top 5. And the only reason why he got the money he got was because the Cowboys were goofy and waited to pay him.
Top 10.
Well, Crevonte, speaking of Deshaun
Watson, that's by default. It ain't but 6 elite quarterbacks out there.
Well, you should know from Washington about the Kirk Cousins situation.
Yeah, I sure do, and I'm glad we didn't pay him because he's average.
My fear is that the Ravens may be in a situation like that with Lamar Jackson.
They're probably just going to franchise him for the next couple of years till they get a deal done. Unfortunately.
Listen, he's being absurd not accepting the contract that's better than Kyler Murray's. Asking for a fully guaranteed contract is absurd.
Well, I mean that's going to be the new precedent now because if he could get that, and that's why I wanted to have Q come back because we got to talk about the MVP and him wanting to be in the faces of the league. But I think that he should be able to ask for a fully guaranteed contract. I think at minimum 250.
Sure, 250, no fully guaranteed. I said that before the Kyler Murray contract came out and before the Deshaun Watson came out. I said he needed 5 years, 250. Not no fully guaranteed though. I can't. I just no. He puts himself in harm's way a little too much to be talking about fully guaranteed contract.
As wait a minute, but as one of the faces of the league and somebody that's asked to do all that he's asked to do on the offensive side for the Ravens, why shouldn't he be asked to get a guaranteed contract? Because I don't think that we're having an issue when it comes to Patrick Mahomes getting this type of that type of contract, or Josh Allen, or we could keep going down the list about some of these other guys who we think are top 5. Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not to say that they're not deserving of the contract. What I'm saying is that if he was able to get that contract, and he's not Lamar Jackson or any of the other quarterbacks that I named, why shouldn't he just try to go for what he thinks he's worth? Especially when he's representing himself.
Do any of the quarterbacks you named have fully guaranteed contracts?
Well, that's not there. That's
yes or no. Yes or no.
It's a no, but remember also it's because of the market. The market we keep talking about resets itself. So the market has reset itself to a new standard. Yesterday's price is not
no. Fully guaranteed contracts aren't given out like that. The money gets.
This is the first one because even Kirk Cousins didn't have a fully guaranteed.
He did. Kirk Cousins did have a fully guaranteed contract, but it wasn't 230.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And again, we're talking about the money. We're not talking about the logistics of the contract. We're talking about the money increasing. Fully guaranteed contracts is not going to be a new standard. That's absolutely not a thing. The money will increase, but the standard of how the contract is given out, folks ain't getting. You're not about to have Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, all of them not getting fully guaranteed contracts. That's not going to be the new thing. And again, all the quarterbacks you named went further than Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes has a Super Bowl. Josh Allen has been to an AFC championship. Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl and multiple MVPs. And they don't have fully guaranteed. Well, no, actually, Aaron Rodgers does have a fully guaranteed contract, I believe. But he's been top 2 quarterbacks for quite some time now.
Well, go ahead, Byron. Go ahead.
Well, Raj, real quick, let the people know how to keep up with us, and I want to get your thoughts on Deshaun Watson contract now, 11 games, suspension 11 games, excuse me. He'll be back against the Texans, ironically.
Well, everybody, please subscribe, hit the like button. Definitely follow us on YouTube. The channel is growing rapidly, and we're trying to get over 1,000. So please hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications because we got more content like this coming. And let me answer your question about Deshaun Watson and 11-game suspension. I believe that this is the suspension that he should have had originally anyway, or something to this effect. I'm not mad at it. I think they got it right, I believe. So he misses a lot of the season, but he gets to come back against the team that traded him. Perfect. I think that's the perfect way to come back. He'll be in a Texan stadium. They'll be boring the living hell out of him rapidly. And I think the NFL got it right on this one. I'm glad Roger Goodell was not the person to go out there and play judge and jury as far as the final decision for his future. I think everybody wins on this side, except the women, of course, but because the women still, it's just a frantic thing. But yeah, man, I'm okay with the Deshaun Watson 11-game suspension. I am. Q, are you back?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm on my other phone now. I should be good now.
Yeah, you look
This shit is crazy.
You look a lot clearer, brother.
Yeah, it got a little heated too, man.
Like you in HD.
Any other questions for Q?
Yeah,
I'm chilling with y'all,
before Q had dropped off, we were talking about the Lamar Jackson contract situation and how it and the MVP situation with him getting an MVP, and you were saying that it's not what we think it should be. Why is the MVP not as relevant when it comes to Lamar Jackson?
Because that was years ago. We talking about now. Sports is about what have you done for me lately. That was years ago. He's regressed since then. So yeah, that's gonna play. And then him not having an agent is definitely not helping his cause either. He would have been got paid. Actually, his agent, if he had an agent before the start of this last season, the agent would have told him, sit out, man, until you get your money. He would have told him that. Because you can't have a liability of going on the field and getting injured and then messing up your money, which actually happened at the end of the season. You can't play with your money like that. So that's what the front office for the Ravens can say. Okay, you got an MVP once upon a time ago. Since then, your numbers have dropped statistically. You have regressed. So they could use that for bargaining chips, but he shouldn't be getting no $230 million guaranteed. I'm sorry, he got to prove it first.
So it's okay. So what do you think he should do then? Should he have over 3,500 yards, 35 yards, 35 touchdowns, 700 on the ground running? I mean, what the numbers do you think he should have? Should he go
I had
crazy?
I had a conversation with Jeremy Cohen one time, and he was telling me I had throw out some numbers. I threw out some numbers similar to what you said, not to Lamar, but for a quarterback of today's game. I was talking about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold threw for about 3,500 yards. Jeremy's response was, that's nothing. 4,000, he should be aiming for 5,000 or better. This is what Jeremy told me as far as the quarterback of today. Now, of course, he wasn't talking about Lamar because Lamar's game is different, but realistically speaking, Lamar should have at least 4,200 yards passing, at least. We know he's going to get his rushing yards on the ground. We know that. I don't even got to throw numbers out for that. But yeah, passing wise, at least 4,200 yards, at least the minimum.
But that's not what the system. That's not what the system dictates.
That was my point. That was my point earlier to Byron. You don't have that guy as far as coordinator. Kubiak is not walking back into the Ravens locker room.
Sadly,
outside of Kubiak, everybody has run the same bland offense because that's the system. Be a manager. I used to say that about Flacco, and people used to bust my balls about it. Flacco is a game manager.
All right. So, I mean, before Lamar got hurt, though, he had close to 3,000 yards. So he was on his way.
That's football. That's football, Dre. I don't want to hear about close to or nothing. End of the day, he didn't get that. He didn't get that 4,200 yards.
Got hurt, man.
So it's all about everything. Everything comes down to the yardage with you. It has to be. He has to have over 4,000.
I'm telling you, of today's quarterback. Yeah. What does Deshaun Watson do?
He does. I'm gonna tell you what Deshaun Watson does. He doesn't win. Is what Deshaun Watson does. He's not as consistent.
It's the system. It's the system. Look at the garbage that they put around the kid when he was in Houston. Come on.
We had the Andre.
Even honestly, that's one guy. And Hopkins used to stay hurt. He still is hurt. Even while we're talking about him, he's hurt.
He's suspended. He's not hurt.
He's suspended.
I know. I was just throwing it out there, but he stayed hurt though.
What about Lamar Jackson being one of the faces of the league?
I mean, you have to put him out there for his athleticism. You have to put him out there.
But I'm saying that's
he's
not,
the young.
Worth the money.
He's the next generation of quarterbacks. He's the next generation of athletes that's gonna make the NFL what they are. Him, the Burrows, the Herbert, and so on and so forth.
But
so
you
have to include him in it.
Neither one of those guys, though.
Who? Herbert or Burrows? Yeah.
Burrow.
Give me one more year. Give me one more year. Let me see what they do this year. Huh?
Of who?
Of Herbert and Burrows. Let me see what they do this year.
Okay.
I told dudes when Herbert got drafted that he was going to be the real deal. When people was like, "Nah, he's going to be on the bench. Tyrod Taylor's going to be the starter." I said, "All right, watch Herbert take the job." Now, of course, we know what happened with Tyrod, but the rest is history. Once he got that job, he never looked back.
So Lamar's going to have over 4,000 yards.
No, I'm not saying he has to have a productive pass year. I think that's what the Ravens front office is hesitant about.
But Q, listen. He was trending that direction last season. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little echo, but go ahead.
It is Crevonte. He was trending in that. Well, after I say this, I'm gonna let Crevonte go. He was trending in that direction last season. Before he got hurt, he was averaging 240 a game, almost 250 passing yards. And he had over in the Colts game, like you was about to say before your phone cut off, he had over 442 yards passing, destroying the Colts. And another game,
come on, let's
Broncos over 300 yards passing. So I don't.
Let's call a spade of a spade. They was down 19. That's one of the games that I said was a fluky win by the Ravens. The Ravens was down 19 points. It took for the Colts to get into their third string backup cornerbacks before he started tearing them apart. Remember, the secondary fell apart late in the fourth quarter. Then that's when he started performing. So, I mean, come on, let's call a spade of a spade. Let's be realistic here. I'm not saying the kid is bad, but y'all be bigging him up too much. I give him too much props.
Because he wins. He wins.
That's the system, bro. At the end of the day, I thought it was about wins and losses, and he has the best winning percentage at somebody of his age in NFL history.
Besides,
it's the system.
It's the system, but it's an outdated system. Which one is it, man?
I'm saying y'all run passing team, so he fits into that system. That's why y'all was winning and tearing up the league. Granted, it's wins and losses, but like I said, wins and losses can be deceiving. That's what I be saying about Lamar and certain other quarterbacks. But Lamar's going to get paid. I don't know if he's going to get paid Watson money. That's my beef. I wouldn't pay him if I'm the Ravens. Not that. Y'all want to give him $1 million more than Murray? Cool. He wins more than Murray. I like Murray better as a quarterback, but yeah, he wins more than Murray. I don't know how long. I don't know the longevity of Murray though. He's a small dude. You know?
That's true. Go ahead, Crevonte.
Man, oh man. Like I was saying earlier, I agree with Q that Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed contract is a no-go. I do not think that should happen. I don't even think that should be a new standard because I don't think folks should be handing out fully guaranteed contracts like that. Like, folks are going to start turning into liabilities at this point. But I do think he should get more than Kyler Murray. I absolutely agree. 235, 240. Hell, I even said 250. But if you just want to be Kyler Murray, sure, 240, whatever. But I like a nice even 5 years, 250. Boom, go ahead and do that. But I don't even think it's about the numbers. I'm not a numbers. I'm not a guy that's all hell bent on numbers. I'm all about the eye test and the production. What do you do for the team? I think if Lamar Jackson gets to the AFC Championship in this wild, wild west of the AFC, because, I mean, he won a playoff game, right? So the next step is get to the AFC Championship. We want to see Lamar Jackson take that next step. You want to see him ball out. Because remember, when we're talking about MVP, we're talking about just the regular season. That year he won an MVP. What happened in the playoffs? Because the Ravens are used to a certain standard when it comes to playing the game we call football. So I think AFC Championship. That should be the goal. If Lamar Jackson gets this Ravens team to the AFC Championship, give him whatever. Give him whatever. I'm not a guy that's huh?
I agree with you on that. That's standard. That bar that you set, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. But that's a Ravens thing. Ravens have been used to a certain standard. I'm not saying they make it to the AFC Championship every year, but they're like, yo, we play like a Raven is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, They don't bring bums out there, man. They win for the wait since they've been winning since they've been around for real. But I think Lamar Jackson, if you want a blank check, you got AFC Championship.
I mean, the Ravens have never had a quarterback like the Lamar Jackson. I mean, when you look at every quarterback they've had, from Gerbach, Steve McNair, Bowler, whatever you want to name, who's been at the quarterback position, they have not had somebody to the caliber of Lamar Jackson, who has been one of the faces of the league, who's actually been a good quarterback. I mean, Joe Flacco got paid, but Joe Flacco also bet on himself too and won a Super Bowl, so that helped him. But I think with the Lamar Jackson situation, even if he doesn't get to the AFC Championship game, he should still get his money. But I think it's partly on Lamar Jackson too, why he's not like Lamar Jackson. I think he wants a contract, but at the same time, I think he wants to prove himself to show to the Ravens that, yes, I can do this, and I want to, because he cares about winning so much, y'all, that you can see Lamar Jackson when they're not winning. So I think that he really cares about winning, and I think that he has set a bar for himself this year. I think for Lamar Jackson, it's a Super Bowl or bust, because he wants to bring a Super Bowl to Baltimore.
And I think he can do that. Dre is just it's going to come to Acosta putting the team around him and building some more weapons and getting another offensive coordinator after Greg Roman, because I think Greg's offense has ran its course. After this season, I think it's a wrap for him. Like, and I think I don't know who's going to be the coordinator after him, but hopefully Lamar can show what he can do passing wise. Because when he was in college at Louisville, he was running. I forgot what the system he was running, but he was passing the ball great.
Exactly.
So
he averaged what, 4,000 yards, right? With Louisville?
Yes.
Yeah.
Close to it.
So
he can throw.
Recently, Steve Young talked about the Ravens hindering the growth of Lamar Jackson. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with Steve Young's comments, the Hall of Famer?
Of course. What is Greg Roman doing? He makes no adjustments. Like we said earlier in the show, he's running a high school football team from the 80s. Come on, step it up.
He's running the same offense that Joe Namath and him was running back in '69, right?
Yeah.
Damn,
facts.
Well, Q, last
question. What's your expectations for the Ravens this year? Wins, losses, realistically, all y'all.
That's a good.
We already
Crevonte,
said
I want to hear what's up with your Commanders too.
Ravens Nation, we said 10 to 11 wins.
I agree with Dre. I think we at least 10 wins. Hopefully, I got this team maybe making a wild card appearance. I don't know if they're going to win the division. I think the Bengals are the number one team in this division now. They got so many weapons.
Bengals going to take a slight fall back, man.
I don't think so, man. I think they keep it pushing.
Don't sleep on that kid Kenny Pickett either, man, with Pittsburgh.
No. Look, earlier when you said that you think that the AFC West was going to have 3 teams, I think the AFC North has the same potential.
It's going to be tight, man. It's going to be a tight race. Let's just say that. So, I think 10 or 11 wins for the Ravens.
Okay. Crevonte, what's up with them Commanders?
Damn it. I was trying to avoid it, man. So everyone here knows. All right, I'm a Commanders fan. Still take some time, take some getting used to. But I am very, very hard on this team that lives in DC. Well, Washington, whatever. Me and Byron went through the schedule, and I can see about 9. I can see about 9 pushing 10 wins. But me knowing my team, there's gonna be a couple more L's than I think, because the games I think they should absolutely win will be the hard ones. And I think they'll still have a little bit of undiscipline. And I feel like that's gonna hurt them way more often than not. Like for instance,
Mhm.
I feel like one of them games against the Giants, we might lose. Just because
Right.
that's a Commander, that's a Washington thing to do. But when I was looking at it
Mhm.
with Byron a few weeks back, it looked like about 9-10. So I think the
So that should be
over-under
enough to win the East.
for the Commanders. Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. But
So,
I think the over-under is at 8.5. I'll sprinkle a little something on the over and say 9.
all right, cool.
Go ahead, Byron.
I guess, Q, before we get you out of here, brother, what is your overall prediction for the Jets season? Does it end with y'all in the playoffs or a game or two outside of the playoffs? Because seem like you
Yeah,
have a lot of faith in this team.
I think we missed out on the playoffs this year. Something's going to happen to where we miss out on the playoffs, but I think we in that 8 to 9 win window. That's my feelings right now. From the talent that I see, it's a matter of can the talent come together and can the coaching staff coach. So that's my outlook on this team this year. But I think week 1 we beat the Ravens. Close game, but we'll win.
Man, I wish I could be there with you, man. You know I would put something on it, man. Wish I was there with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I guess so. I don't know what you're doing that day. I don't know if you want to be near my presence. Because you say I
Hey,
jinx.
come on a post game show, brother. Come on a post game show, Q. You gotta see.
Y'all gonna be on here?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be after the
do a
game.
post game show. We're gonna do a post game.
All right, I'll join. Just let me know. I'll join.
So I'll definitely hit you with the link if I don't see you in person.
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, right?
No. After the game.
Oh, after the game. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
So hopefully you won't be too drunk or too pissed off when we whip your ass. I don't want you to be. I want you to be angry, my brother. I want you to
we'll
be.
See, man. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a close game. I'm not worried about y'all putting up 45 points like y'all did against my third string team last time. It'll be a close game.
I agree with
you. But we'll win.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm expecting to see what y'all can do, man. But I just want to say this, man. Like I said before, I'm very proud of you, man. I see the moves that you're making. I see that you're doing the right thing out in these streets. And I'm so happy that you're grinding and doing your thing out here, man. And I love you, man.
Respect, bro.
I appreciate you coming on the show, my good brother. I hope to see you.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all brothers for having me on here, man. Keep up the good work, man. Keep it solid. Much love.
Don't let this be the last time, man.
Yeah, don't let this be the
of course not, man. I'll be on here more often, man. Y'all stay up, brothers. Be good.
Appreciate
it. All right, you too, man.
Definitely catch you in the next.
Bye.
Peace. Shout out to Q. Give it up for Q one more time.
Yeah, man. Once he got that audio together, man, he was rolling, bro. He was rolling.
Yeah.
Dre, real quick, I want to get your thoughts on the Deshaun Watson situation. 11 games. I think you was agreeing with Raj about should have been this the first time.
Yeah, I totally agree with Raj. I mean, I figured, I always said he was going to at least get 8 games half the season. I never figured that 6 games would be, I thought 6 games as the max. I was like, no, 8 games should be the minimum standard. And then for him to get the 11 games, and it fits out perfectly because then when he comes back, he gets to face his old team, the Houston Texans. So I think that's good for him. He's not going to face the Ravens. He's not going to face Tom Brady. So the NFL had this kind of already, it seemed like they already kind of had this thing lined up perfectly for Deshaun Watson. Like I said, I never figured 11 the whole season anyway, because he already sat out last season. And I know some people are like, well, last season was different, but it doesn't matter. He still sat out a whole season and didn't play. And we all knew that he was better than whoever they put out there. So 11 games is fitting, and it still gives him time to grow within his contract, because he still got 4 more years after this contract. So let him get out there with the new system, and then we'll really look forward to next season, because we already knew that this season would kind of be a loss, but then the Browns also have to make some decisions too. because Nick Chubb is on the chopping block to get paid. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.
Crevonte, real quick. Deshaun Watson turning against the Houston Texans, team that didn't want him.
Well, granted, he didn't want them first on the petty side of the game. I won. Oh yeah, well I didn't speak on it. I think Roger's the only one that I heard speak on it, but I think this is much more appropriate. I was thinking 10-11 for the games for the suspension of games, and like I heard as high as $10 million for the fine, but I felt like it should have been double-digit games and at least 8 fine. Just 6 games and no fine was just absurd. I'm like, oh, he got away with, figuratively speaking, he got away with murder. You know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with the NFL, because we know how petty they can be, especially in similar cases. I mean, players have lost their jobs for less. But I just want to say I thought the suspension was appropriate. And for it to come back to the Houston Texans, I think this is perfect. I think this is why it's not 10 and it's 11. I think they did that on purpose, like like they do most things. So yeah, he's going to torch them, I believe, because obviously there's very much hard feelings, because I mean, even though he got broke off and paid, the way it happened was, yeah, it's on site, and this is the on-site game, and I absolutely can't wait to see it. Even though it's going to be his first game back, but he's gonna dig deep for this one.
All right, Crevonte, you got 60 seconds. Time for Commander's Corner. Recap against the Chiefs.
No, man.
Do I need to stopwatch? Do I need to stopwatch again? Or we wait till the regular season?
You can do the stopwatch. I don't need that long.
All right, just let me know when you're ready, good brother.
All right, count me down.
3, 2, 1.
We back here again. They keep putting me in this corner, telling me to talk about these goddamn Commanders. I don't like it. I don't care for it. I don't like it. Patrick Mahomes came to town, and he did Patrick Mahomes-like things. There was a couple bright spots with a couple of the defenders. I saw Taylor Heineke play pretty well. Sam Howell, that's the guy who I'm looking at, Sam Howell, because that might mess around and be the future. So Sam Howell did okay. I saw Taylor Heineke lead a touchdown drive, so that was fitting. Quarterbacks are looking okay. Wentz is still Wentz. And Patrick Mahomes, we couldn't do nothing with him. First team defense, second team defense, third team. Put them all together, we still can't stop him. We needed 13 players on the field to stop that brother, Patty Mahomes. And it didn't help that we was at Arrowhead. So, I mean, the game went just as I thought it would. And I was keeping updates because a couple of my cousins was watching the game, and they turned it off by halftime. So it's what I expected. And, of course, we play the Ravens next. Woo!
There you go.
Oh, I beat it.
Minute 18.
I didn't think I was gonna beat it.
Real quick, Raj and Dre, y'all just want to quick thoughts on the Ravens win against the Cardinals, 22 in a row, preseason wins.
I'll just go real quickly. Isaiah Likely, he
likely to make the team.
No, he's likely to be the second best tight end on his team.
There you go.
He played a hell of a game. He showed a lot of promise. I am sold on this brother. Like I told you before, when I saw him at training camp, I was sold on him then. He's living up to expectation, man. He did a hell of a job yesterday. But Pepe Williams played a hell of a game as well. Another rookie that's showing out and showing off. Definitely love seeing him out there getting that interception. Jordan Stout, man. Them kicks that he's making, man. Sam Koch is proud of him, man. He looks phenomenal, man. He's going to pan out very, very well for this team. The things I didn't like, Tony Jefferson, man. What are you doing, man? Missing tackles, missing assignments. He looked awful. He looked pretty bad yesterday. I didn't like seeing Tony Jefferson look like that. He could play much better than that. He's a veteran in this league, and for him to be out there just missing tackles really sucks. The guy that played well last week, Shamar Bridges. Where were you at this week, my good brother? Where were you at, man? You had one catch. Granted, you only got the ball thrown to you 3 times, but I mean, come on, man. You got to go out there and you got to fight for that. Fight for that ball, man. You got to fight for that quarterback to throw you the football. We need you to definitely shine in this next preseason game because you could be out the door. Pope was another one that didn't really do too much either. So that's the downside of.
Hey Raj, he can shine next game. I promise, he can shine next game.
They both probably can shine next game against the Commanders, but
Mhm.
we don't need to see no more of Isaiah Likely. We don't need to see no more of him. He don't need to play next week. Travis Jones, I believe, is going to not play until the regular season. He got hurt yesterday, but he has a hyperextension in his knee, so he should be fine. But other than that, man, I mean, Tyler Huntley looked phenomenal. He looked great. He only missed one pass. The backup quarterback actually played pretty well, except for that pick. And yeah, man, they pretty much just cruised along and got their 22nd victory against the Cardinals.
Go ahead, Dre.
I look, yesterday we did the live stream, so make sure that y'all check out that and like that video as well. I thought that the Ravens, I thought that they started the game out really good, but in typical Ravens fashion, that last quarter they just started to take their foot off the gas, and I mean, just like the starters, so did the backups. So that's something that needs to definitely be improved because one thing I know about Bill Belichick and Nick Saban teams, one of the reasons that they have success is because they're on you all 4 quarters, no matter the lead, because there's no way that the Ravens had that type of lead and then it had to come down to you sweating whether or not the streak is going to continue. So I think that that's something that they have to improve as a team overall. I really like Likely. I think that he's going to make I think he makes the team, and I think he could be the second best receiver out there, along with Bateman, Andrews. I mean, I think that could be a formidable duo when it comes to the regular season. So overall, though, I'm happy about the Ravens, and I think that they'll continue their streak to 23. And I think that after that, who knows about next preseason? But definitely this preseason, yeah, the streak will continue.
Real quick, Dre. Got to get this in. Your boy LeBron James, 2-year, $97.1 million deal. You did a short on it. No trade clause. This contract means what for the Los Angeles Lakers?
I mean, it means that LeBron James is here to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers. And we all figured that LeBron would stay with the Lakers. We all knew that once he signed with LA a few years ago that he was here to stay. And you already seen LeBron's gross network has already grown. His money has grown. His businesses have grown. And he's done a lot of things to exceed his basketball career. And he already brought Los Angeles a chip. I think he still has the goal to at least bring them one more. And I think that it's very possible for it to happen. But the Lakers also have to make a lot of moves when it comes to them moving forward, whether or not it's about Anthony Davis or it's about Russell Westbrook, whatever the decision is, they have to do something in order to get this team back to winning as Lakers Nation knows for it to be.
Go ahead, Roger, real quick.
It just shows that the Lakers are being loyal to another guy that's aging. Like they did the same thing with Kobe. His final 2 years, they gave him the money that he wanted, and he pretty much retired. So they're doing the same thing with LeBron James. This is what you do with, and I think he probably did the same thing with Kareem and Magic as well. They paid these guys at the end of their career. They saluted them at the end. They made sure they gave them the tributes and showed them much love. And they're doing the exact same thing with LeBron. Hopefully they do find a good way to compete for another championship in these next 2 years. Not sure if it's going to be this year or next year, but hopefully they can do something. But I'm just glad they got a deal done, man. I'm glad that LeBron's gonna be here for the foreseeable future, and he's gonna, probably maybe even end his career here.
Go ahead, Crevonte, real quick.
I didn't see Aaron's comment, but about Carson Wentz, but I'm indifferent. Carson Wentz has some really good qualities, but he also has some terrible ones, and the terrible ones are the ones that lose games. So there's always cause for concern for that. So that's why I'm indifferent, because I've seen him play. He could be a top-notch quarterback if he cut down the mistakes. But hell, so could Jameis Winston, right? But moving on to LeBron James. Yeah, I agree. Hey man, listen, we love LA. We love it, y'all. So why go anywhere else? Why even why are we even doing this? Your family's in LA, your businesses can be run through LA. Why would you pick anything else? LA's where it's at, it's where his kids at. Kids are attending school and all that good stuff. LA is nice and comfortable for Mr. LeBron James. So it's only right that he signs an extension, and of course a well-deserved one, because I mean he was the lone bright spot for the Los Angeles Lakers for the past couple years.
Damn shame.
So yeah, ain't no reason to leave. He's a Laker. You just don't want to leave from being a Laker. You get booted from LA. Why leave, baby? But yes, I think the contract is well deserved. I see the no trade clause. Yep, right up the alley. Absolutely well deserved. Nothing ill to say about this contract. But to Roger, when Rob was speaking to something about competing for a championship, it's probably not going to be this year. As long as Russell Westbrook is on that roster, he ain't going to be competing for no championship. As long as Anthony Davis not picking up basketball, ain't going to be competing for a championship this year. Maybe next year, but not this year.
Hey, look at this hate. Look at this hater at the bottom of the screen. Such a bastard. Such a bastard.
Well, we know one person who will be competing this week, and that's for the crown of Goofy of the week. Crevonte, take it away.
Hey man, so am I going to have to play a video?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll mute up.
I
I
mute
know
up.
we were talking about it earlier. Say I might have to play it, but I got it. So this so I have two. Oh well, shoot. Let me do my intro. That's so rude of me. Welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time for me to let you guys know what I thought was goofy this past week. I have two levels of goofy. We was talking to the number one Jets fan, and the low level goofy color represents jet green. Boom, right there. That's usually on the lower end of goofiness. It's usually funny. We point and laugh and ha ha, and okay, it was funny. That's a comedic relief along with it. But that red, that high level, another team that's probably not going to be great this year is the Atlanta Falcons, and this is Falcon Red. This is high level goofy. We went entirely too far, and it's appropriate because we know the Atlanta Falcons history in this game of football and the recent history of it, and it's not great. But after that Super Bowl loss, they will forever be high level goofies to me. So yeah.
Gosh, something wrong here.
There's definitely something wrong here, guys. There's definitely something wrong here. So first things first. Let's go into the first one. I have two videos to show. Oh man, I gotta start over. It starts immediately, Byron. All right, let's see. Okay.
Probably let it play one more time and back it up a little bit. There you go. Perfect.
Had to run that back just in case you missed it. I want you to see all of it. Yeah. Oh. Dab me up, man. Bow. Guys. If you are wondering what the hell is going on, so am I. Okay. So that's actually two women. That's actually two women fighting. That's two women fighting. Yep. So this Goofy of the Week was sponsored. Well, not sponsored, but was given to me by our host with the moist, the brother that's right here. The brother's right here. And he should. Oh snap! Yo, Byron. Yo, look.
That's exactly
Hey,
what we
yo, Byron. Yo, we literally said the same thing. Say, hey, yo, listen. Brady needs a center. So, for whatever reason, these two young ladies were in some type of brawl. I don't know over what, but one of the ladies had the other lady in a headlock and given her the business. You understand? And security came promptly after she got hit 12 times. But this was obviously at a Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, if y'all couldn't tell. And yeah, they didn't look great. This was not a great representation of the fan base in Tampa Bay or Tampa Bay, depending on who you talk to. But yeah, this women being violent is not it's really not where it's at. And because I know that reference, because I get it. So that's funny.
Hey, leave Nia Jackson her hole alone.
Listen, I saw some. Hey, listen, guys. I saw what you was talking about earlier, Raj. I saw some good hand movements. Some offensive lineman hand movements. You know, something that Tom Brady could use this upcoming season. And I think I'm almost certain that this went viral. So Tom Brady probably sees this, and she should be getting a call pretty soon to see what we can to see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could make shake, huh? But yeah, and I don't know if you saw the dap up afterwards, like, woo, yeah, you beat her up, and it's not that bad because like, oh, she's a woman too, I guess, and it seems like they removed the one that was in the headlock. So I don't know how this started, but I just saw what I need to see. Goofiness at its finest. It's actually still playing, so that's why I'm over here distracted. But anyway, that is my low level Goofy of the week, and Tom Brady should be reaching out pretty soon, huh? So speaking of Tom Brady, I have another video that's involving Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. Loser leaves town match. Exactly. It was a lineman versus a wide receiver, a slot wide receiver. Had no chance. No chance. All right. Next one. Oh, let me turn it up.
I was sitting there thinking, you're sticking with that mother. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's true. And you know, I talked Brady into playing for the Raiders, and Gronk was coming with him, and they were negotiating the deal, and they were really close to getting it done, and then Gruden pulled the deal, and Brady was not happy about it. Neither was I. And
we're interested, and all of a sudden they weren't interested at the very end. I was sitting there thinking, you're sticking with that mother. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's true. And you know, I talked Brady into playing for the
Raj.
Raiders.
I hope y'all saw that. I played it twice, but
Oh my gosh.
What in the hell was that?
That
are y'all familiar with Dana White?
Yeah, Dana White, president of USC. Yep.
Yep. Very, very familiar, right? So apparently, so the reason this dropped was because of Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski dropped
this
this
past
story.
weekend. Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski dropped this story, which probably is a good indication that he's done playing football. Because I tell you something, nobody knew about this one. Because remember who we all thought it was? We thought it was San Fran. We thought it was Jimmy G that he was talking about. Come to find out, it was Vegas. Well, this was right before this would have been their first year in Vegas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And they was talking about Derek Carr. So I go to thinking, like, damn. So Dana White has a little bit more pull than a little bit. Well, more pull than a little bit because he initiated this. I got some ties with my guy. If y'all want him, I can see what's up. They in talks. They come to the 11th hour, and Goof that had the misogynistic, racist, and homophobic comments is the guy who pulled the plug. Because this was about to happen. Everybody was pretty much in. And then at the last minute, Goof Gruden pulled the plug. Damn Vegas. Damn Vegas. Damn Vegas. Damn Vegas. This sucks, yo. This sucks that this comes out now. But of course, this was one of those things that you could tell wasn't supposed to come out. But since it's out, it's like, oh, well, let's talk about it. Vegas jacked this off. Well, let me say, Gruden jacked this off bad. He jacked this off real bad because everybody else was cool with it. Everybody else was cool with it. And again, Tom Brady had us baffled the entire time. The entire time. Because I thought it was Jimmy G. We all thought it was Jimmy G. We thought it was San Francisco. Come to find out, it was in Oakland/Vegas. And the guy they gave the 10-year deal to decided to veto it. Because I'm sure he didn't want, if they would have won, who would have gotten the credit? Not him. It wouldn't have been him. But if they would have lost, guess who would have got that blame? Gruden. So I'm sure that was probably one of the things that went through Gruden's mind. So why it's like, I don't want Brady to come here. So he pulls the plug. And then they pull the plug on him. See how this works? In a very, very, very goofy way. Some people don't deserve nice things. It's just some people don't deserve nice things, man. And I believe Gruden is one of those people that blocked a crazy blessing from him and an entire organization. And that blessing fell right in the laps of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who is historically probably one of the worst teams in football before that 2020 season. Now, all of a sudden, they're very recent Super Bowl champions. Could have been you, bruh. Could have been you, bruh. I bet you feel better about going up against Patrick Mahomes with Tom Brady as opposed to Derek Carr. Nothing against Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is a solid quarterback. But I think you feel a little bit better going up against Patrick Mahomes twice a year with Tom Brady. And even potentially, I'm sure he would have been in the playoffs. Probably even an AFC Championship. Who knows? But again, when you block your blessings, these are the things that happen. But I tell you, when Tom Brady called him an MFer, oh, that's funny. That is funny. But, yep, both of my goofies of the week is surrounding Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. The first one was the two women brawling, having a full-on WWE match in the stands, and everybody's watching. Not a good look. And now the high-level goofy of the week, Rob Gronkowski presenting the story, Tom Brady telling, and Dana White being involved, all to find out that the Raiders were this close to signing the GOAT. And John Gruden vetoed it. Completely jacked it off. High level goofy. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And these folks on the wrong end of it. Got to do better, people. Got to do better.
I am highly disgusted. Very disgusted.
Man, I said, ain't no way.
You know, that has got to be one of the goofiest decisions in the history of sports.
Yo, it's up there, bro.
But it's also a blessing in disguise too, because while that door closed, another door opened for him. And I think if he goes to Vegas, that whole Belichick Brady thing it's not the same narrative, because I feel like he doesn't win a Super Bowl with Vegas. You see that he was able to avoid all the dysfunction and everything that happened with that team. So it ended up, I think, working out better for him to go to Tampa Bay, because he was able to get a Super Bowl and be in contention, and he avoided a lot of unnecessary drama with the Vegas Raiders. So I think it was a low-key blessing in disguise, but it's just funny that it just came out over the weekend, like you said, because for years, the whole time we thought about Jimmy G and San Francisco, when it was actually Brady wanted to go to the Raiders. Like, who would ever think Tom Brady wanted to go to the Raiders?
And
I mean,
that's how his career started. I mean, that's how the projection of his career took off against them.
So, wow.
Well, Dre, we got another special guest returning next week.
Yes.
Flex Zone Podcast, episode 356. Let the people know what's coming on next Monday.
Our boy Engraven comes back next week, and what a perfect ending to the Ravens preseason. Then no other than Engraven himself next week here on the Flex Zone. Can't wait.
And how can they start their day with a cup of Dre each and every day on WEAA, brother?
All right, you can catch me Monday through Friday on WEAA 88.9 FM. We're doing Good Morning Baltimore. And you can also catch me during the Flex Zone Sports Report, both on Mondays and Wednesdays at the 9 o'clock hour. So the Flex Zone continues, y'all. Executive
producer Andre Melvin, senior producer Crevonte Herod, associate producer yours truly, God's favorite host, the host of The Moist, social media producer Big Rise. Let the people know how to keep up with us.
Man, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications. We do this thing, man. We do this thing called the Flex Zone. We make a plenty of videos during the week. Wow, make plenty of videos. Definitely get important, and just keep, letting us know what you want to. Let us know what you want to talk about. So keep on doing your thing. Keep hitting that subscribe and hit them like button. Hit that like.
Once again, shout out to Q. Thank you for joining us tonight. Give it up to Q one more time. Try to have him back, or try to have him on for the post-game show after the Week 1 game against the Jets. Get his reactions and thoughts of a team he thinks is going to be competitive this year. Follow us at the Flex Zone 1 on Twitter and Instagram, and the Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok. If you want to donate, hashtag the Flex Zone 1. Guest ideas, want to be part of this show, that is the FlexZone1@gmail.com. Until next week for episode 356 with Engraven. Hit that bell for all notifications to know when new videos drop. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, fellas, only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you
need it.
And until next Monday. But before then, we got videos in between. We gone, y'all. Peace.
God, dog, it up last again.
As always.
Shut up. Hey, guys, but listen, real quick. What if Tom Brady did go to Vegas and none of the goofiness happened?
They would have still won the Super Bowl, probably.
Something to think about.